Hi, my name's Cameron Luff, and having worked in the health and fitness industry for over 20 years, one of the most common things I heard when working with elite runners was, how can I improve my performance? So in this video, I'm going to show you how elite runners not only maximize their performance, but also minimize the risk of injury. So how do elite runners get the results they do? Well, aside from the genetic component, elite level runners use the latest sports medicine to get specific, valid and reliable information to ensure that their body is in the best state possible. Elite runners have no time for experimentation or guesswork. They need to know exactly what their body needs to get the best result. They know they need precise testing and analysis to uncover what areas of the body need to be improved for success. What area of my body is weak? Where am I tight? Are there any underlying issues in my body that I don't know about? A finely tuned body will facilitate excellent running form and enable them to train harder with less chance of injury. Elite runners can't afford to get injured. Olympic runners have set training schedules that are planned for years in advance. Get injured and the whole schedule is disrupted. Prevention is the key, as it should be for you. Now, running is a worldwide popular activity in sport, but even though running is not a contact sport, it's still not an activity without risk. PhD fellows Chung and Davis, in an article published in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy, reported that the annual rate of running injury can be as high as 56%. Additionally, the incidence of injury, which is calculated according to running time, can be as high as 12 injuries per 1,000 hours of running, with the knee joint the most commonly affected area. Another research article, which was titled Pain in Recreational Runners by Lopez et al., reported that over 20% of recreational runners had pain leading into a fun run. Now, women were more likely to be affected than men. Up to 75% of running injuries tend to be overuse or gradual onset injuries. This is important as prevention is often the key to the management of these injuries. Why is avoiding overuse injuries important? Well, the main reason is that eventually they'll affect your training and ultimately your performance. Most people don't recognize the symptoms of an overuse injury, and therefore they tend to aggravate it further and hinder recovery. Now, here is the key to getting the best improvement in your running performance. The best assessment equals the best results, and the best programs come from the best analysis. Assessment is king. You need to eliminate guesswork from your assessment wherever possible. Elite athletes would never get a fitness program based on a couple of basic assessment tests, and neither should you. The sit and reach test is an example of a fitness test that provides a result but doesn't give an insight into what you need to improve. A poor score can be due to tight calves, hamstrings, glutes, lower back, mid back, or even the shoulder. Why waste your time stretching something that doesn't need to be stretched? Now, movement-based assessments can also give results but not actually reveal the cause of the issue. Movement-based assessments are popular because they're cheap and quick to do. Once again, however, the main problem is that they aren't precise. An example of a movement-based test is the squat test. However, inability to perform a squat can be due to ankle, knee, hip, or even shoulder muscle tightness. Elite runners would never rely solely on a movement-based assessment. They just aren't specific enough. Please note that they do have their place, but to get the best results, specific testing is required. 1% Change is a world-leading fitness assessment system that uses scientifically proven assessment methods and reporting that are usually only available to elite runners. 1% Change takes the guesswork out of the traditional fitness assessment, which will allow you to achieve your running goals quicker and easier. Specific testing is crucial to running performance and injury prevention. 1% Change employs a number of running-specific tests that are extremely important for both injury prevention and performance enhancement. Importantly, 1% Change includes both movement-based and isolated joint and muscle-based testing. 1% Change uses advanced technology to assess individual lower limb muscles and then analyze them for tightness, weakness, and imbalances. Runners don't need the flexibility of other sports, but if you lack flexibility in key areas, this is going to dramatically affect your performance by changing your running biomechanics. In simple terms, you just aren't as efficient and you expend more energy. So to find out if you are tight in key areas, these are some of the tests that need to be performed. Hamstrings range of motion is a key test for all runners. One of the most common causes of tight hamstrings can be due to modern living, sitting in chairs for work and watching TV at home. It's important to get individual readings from both sides, as you can often have a significant difference from left to right side. Why waste time stretching if you don't need to? The next group of muscles that need to be assessed for range of motion are the iliopsoas and rectus femoris. both of which can act as hip flexors. The rectus femoris is actually part of the quadricep muscle group, but due to its attachment on the pelvis, it can actually limit hip extension. Tight hip flexors have been associated with lower back and hip injuries in runners. Tight hip flexors can produce an anterior pelvic tilt, which alters the normal length-tension relationship between the hip posterior and anterior muscle groups, which can then affect your biomechanics. As a general rule, in the iliopsoas muscle, the thigh should hang below the horizontal. A 1% change assessment will give you a specific reading so you know exactly how you rate. Muscle strength around the hip is also very important for efficient running. Imbalances can have a big impact on performance and also the potential for injury. Current research has shown that correct functioning and strength of the hip flexors, extensors, abductors, and external rotators is crucial for good biomechanics required for efficient running. So you need to know the individual muscle strength, and research has also shown that if you have imbalances in these groups, such as the ratio of the hip extensors to the hip abductors, this has also been proven to be significant. So this is a major flaw of only using a movement-based testing routine or just using a gym-based assessment for trying to identify muscle strength. If you do leg press, squats, lunges, or even deadlifts, they don't give you any information about individual muscles. Now these exercises are still fantastic exercises and they can still provide good information, but we want to maximize your running performance. So to do that, we need to treat you like you're an elite runner, and that's why you need to use 1% change to get the best assessment possible. 1% change uses the latest scientific technology to accurately measure your muscle strength. This allows you to get specific muscle strength readings for the key hip muscles that are important for running. This information is then assessed and you're provided with key feedback for you and your fitness professional to create an awesome program that will help you smash your personal best running times. Now, movement-based tests do have their place, and 1% change does include movement-based testing, but again, we just take it to the next level. The calf raise test is a movement-based strength test. It's amazing how many elite athletes that I've trained that have had underlying weakness in the calf muscle group that essentially they were just compensating for. So by isolating the calf and performing this test, you can see if you need to target this area in your fitness program. The single leg squat test is another movement-based test that helps identify any issues with core and pelvic stability. Poor pelvic and core stability under loading indicates that a runner has difficulty recruiting the deep stabilizing muscle groups of the pelvis. They will then compensate for poor stability through the use of global or movement muscle groups. This can lead to muscle imbalances, decreased joint stability, and predispose you to lower back or lower limb injuries. Poor or less than ideal pelvic and core stability will also lead to reduction in your running performance. This test is completed on a decline board because if your calf muscle is tight, this can affect the reading. So that's why 1% change also measures your calf muscle range of motion for the soleus muscle of the calf. This is a really simple test, but it's highly reliable and predictive of injury. Achilles tendonitis, shin splints, knee pain can all be influenced by restricted range of motion in the ankle. Another commonly overlooked factor when attempting to improve running performance is balance. Think about it, running involves weight bearing on one leg at a time, at speed and under dynamic load. If you lack stability on one leg in a static situation, then your body is working harder to stabilize when you're running. This is a fantastic and fun test to perform. You simply stand on one leg, close your eyes for 30 seconds, and ideally you shouldn't lose balance, hop around, or have your arms waving crazily in an effort to stabilize yourself. Failure to address an underlying balance issue is a sure way to never reaching your full running potential. Now, another great thing about 1% change is that it also incorporates testing which will assist in the early identification of overuse injuries. An example of this is the VMO muscle test, or the vastus medialis oblique. Imbalance and weakness of the quadriceps muscle has been reported as a contributing factor to knee pain. 1% change examines this area to make sure you're not at risk. Similarly, the patellar tendon is a common area of the knee that runners experience pain. A 1% change assessment will help highlight if this is a problem area. The key thing with dysfunction in this area is that in most cases, you don't even know there's a problem there until it's too late. And that's the frustrating thing with overuse injuries. By the time they're causing pain, the damage is well and truly done. If you can identify an area of the body such as the shin, where there's a minor irritation, in most cases you don't have to drastically change your running program. If you have ever had a severe case of shin splints, you'll understand that it can be a very frustrating problem, and that sometimes you need to stop running for an extended period of time. So by identifying shin soreness early, you can perform some further analysis and ensure that you're not only preventing the problem from getting worse, but you can also keep up with your running program. So regardless of your running goal, the 1% change assessment delivers precise and valid data that you and your fitness professional can use to create a better program. So this means you're not wasting your time doing exercises and stretches that have no benefit for you. So the bonus is that your running goals are achieved quicker and easier. So not only do you maximize your performance, but the other benefit as well is you minimize the risk of future injury. So what are you waiting for? Book in for your 1% change assessment now so you can get more out of your running. Thanks for watching this video. Now if you want to get the world-leading 1% change assessment done on yourself, simply just book in with your accredited 1% change assessor direct or go to www.1percentchange.net/assessment-locations to find the closest facility to you. But if you're a health and fitness professional interested in becoming a 1% change accredited assessor to not only help your clients reach their goals quicker and easier, but also help grow your business by offering this world-leading service, just contact me direct, Cameron at 1percentchange.net.